this political thing is kind of following you around when you come to the radio station.
Well, it's 2 days before our release of our new album, too, isn't it?
Yeah.
That too, Super Tuesday for King's
Super
X.
Tuesday.
And it's
So you have to buy 2 for Tuesday.
It's a self-titled album. It's your first on Atlantic.
Yeah.
And the album cover seems to illustrate the lyrics to "Shot of Love," a track from your first album. Yes?
Yeah, I guess in a way it is loosely related.
Yeah, a very roundabout way.
Well,
It was not intended, actually.
Yeah.
Really? Well, it's got the bread and the wine up on the table,
Yeah.
and a small child reaching to the ground and wiping away some breadcrumbs and finding the name King's X written
She's
there.
actually picking up breadcrumbs.
Oh, picking them up?
Yeah, she
Oh.
doesn't really see the King's X. She's just going for the bread.
Oh, is she hungry?
She hasn't gotten to that point yet.
Also, it's your first self-titled album you've had. So, in any way, is this like a new beginning for the band?
You could say it is, sort of.
So go ahead and
in
say
a
it.
roundabout way.
So say it, David.
So it's a new beginning for the band.
Yeah.
I like to think
Yes.
that every day is a new beginning, David.
If you had given this album a title instead of simply calling it King's X, any thoughts of what you would have chosen for a title?
Should we tell them?
No, because we may use it later.
Okay.
But the answer to your question is yes. We have
We
good
did.
thoughts.
We did have tentative titles, or
It doesn't have to anything to do with about Hector being a pup, was it?
well, we had a couple of ideas, but
Since Hector was a pup was one of them.
One of the tracks, actually the single on the new album, is called Black Flag, and it sounds like you weren't just having a bad day, but you weren't having a bad year. I mean, you were having a bad year at the time. What brought you to write the song?
Doug.
Well, the reason I wrote this song was
Well, actually,
I think Ty could tell it the best.
yeah, that song and Germany are very closely related. Both songs came out of the same experience, actually, but in a roundabout way, it was just basically a time during the tour last year where we were in Europe and pretty much cut off from family and friends and in the middle of who knows where, and just things kind of came to a head, and it was just a build-up of a lot of different things, and basically those songs were trying to get that out of my system once we got back home, and trying to analyze why I got so depressed during that year, and basically came to the realization that it was sort of my own fault that I did, and it didn't necessarily have to be that way, and that's sort of what inspired those songs, really.
Okay, let's hear that one now. It's Black Flag by King's X on Exposure 101 KLOL. KLOL. So Ty, you knew you were wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
In
much.
a roundabout way.
Yeah, in a roundabout way, that kind of hints at it, I guess, doesn't it?
I'll be the roundabout.
Well, now you guys weren't off the road very long before you went back in the studio, were you? I mean, how long did it take before you went back to record this new album?
How quick was it? It was quick.
Well, we took a little time to write music, and then we went into pre-production before we actually went into the studio, so it was a little while before we were in, but it went by real fast. I mean, the album was done and through mastering and everything by January the 14th, I think.
So what was the atmosphere like for making the album? Real positive because everything was going so well and quickly?
It really was.
yeah, it was much smoother, it seemed.
Actually, I don't even remember making it. It's just like, bam, 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 it happened.
Yeah, but this is the answer that we discussed we would say before we came.
Yes.
No, that's true. I'm a lot like that, too, the way Doug is, that when I try to think back of specifically doing the recording, it's like it went by so fast I don't remember much about it. It just boom, and it was over.
Yeah.
I'm looking for my next question. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Did you hear what we said, David?
What'd you
weren't
say?
paying
Yeah,
attention to us. No.
I heard you, Doug.
Can we start over?
Hello. I'm following it. I can't get out.
Now, one thing that's different on this new album of yours, your fourth album, is that you didn't include a lyric sheet this time.
We just didn't
We
get
didn't?
around to it.
You didn't get the lyric sheet.
Were you too busy?
You
or-
didn't get the lyric sheet in yours, huh?
I didn't get one, no.
I remember somebody said it, or I said it, or something. There's no lyric sheet, and we go, oh wow, and then we
all found ourselves on the corner, opposite corners, saying no lyric sheet, no lyric sheet, and we've been dealing with that ever since.
And on the subject of lyrics, I had a call the other day. Someone was saying that on your first album, on the song "What Is This," that the lyrics that you sing are actually different from what was printed down. Now, is that, is this the first time you're hearing that, or?
No, I think I just I forgot what the words were, and I just started making them up. And
So-
I think the lyrics are changed a little
Well,
bit.
that does happen. I think that's not the only song, actually. What happens when the lyrics get printed is after the album is done, we are asked to write down the lyrics for the the publishing thing or whatever, and sometimes we will go back and just write down the way the song was written and forget that maybe a word or two was done differently when we actually recorded it. So that happens.
And I actually do change words just out of, I just forget.
A song that Ty mentioned earlier, "Lost in Germany," is actually kind of a fun song, and I think it would make a great video because it's so visual and everything, almost like the old films of the Beatles running around and everything. It reminds me of that. Did anything particular happen in Germany?
Well, there were a lot of great things that happened there, just a lot of fun, mostly, which is how the song was inspired, from just good times.
It sounds like you guys got lost there.
In our mind, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't literally lost in Germany, but I mean, it really didn't matter where we were. There were some really interesting things that happened there. We were in a unique situation in that we were touring with a band that had sold out months ahead of time before there was any announcement of who the other band would be with them.
Who was that band, Ty?
So we had basically no fans at all in the building, so it was...
Who was that band, Ty?
Who was that band?
let's see, who were they? Act Dick, I think is what they're called.
Oh, them. Well, let's hear Lost in Germany with King's X on Exposure 101 KLOL.
It makes me wonder.
101 KLOL Exposure with David Sadoff, and from the very first King's X CD, Out of the Silent Planet, Wonder. Ty wanted to hear that.
Thank you.
Yes? Any special reason why you chose that one to play tonight?
It just seems to be, well, for one thing, just a bit of trivia, it was the very first King's X song that we all wrote together. When we first got together with Sam, our manager, and sat down and wrote together, that was the song that came out, and so it's sort of special to us.
Do you still play that live in your shows?
It's been a while, but we were talking about bringing it back into the set on this next tour.
Well, that leads into another question I had, which is, now that you've recorded 4 albums, how do you choose what songs to play in your set, and is it like really difficult now to do it since there's so many good songs to choose from?
We'll let you know in a few weeks.
We're not quite sure yet.
We don't know how.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a long debate, I think.
It might come down to what is easiest to play.
Yeah, that's true too.
How does it feel, going to the recording studio and cutting new songs for an album, knowing that a lot of the songs you record are never going to be played live, they're just going to be committed to the record?
I've gotten used to it now.
That doesn't bother me at all. To me, the record is a full package, and I mean, I like the idea of tunes that are just on the record. Also, I mean, it makes them even special in a weird way that that's the only place you're going to hear it or something.
Yeah.
We'll take a break here and pay some bills. We'll come back and play another track off the new CD. And did you guys know that Exposure tonight is brought to you by The Back Alley, where change is the only constant?
We
Didn't
did know
know
that.
that.
We did know that.
Oh, we knew that.
The Back Alley, 6400 Richmond, 21 and over. The Back Alley, you know where it's in the studio. And we're going to play a track from the CD now, which is called Prisoner. And this is the only song on the new album that is co-written with a guy named Warren, who's actually helped you write songs on previous albums with the exception of your last one. Who is this person?
Marty is a friend of mine from Mississippi. We grew up together. We learned to play guitar together, and he's just a very close friend. And what in the world is happening here?
Oh,
Get closer.
And,
I think it's your headphones.
how about this? Okay. And we've been writing music together since we were kids, since like 13 or 14 or so. And he currently is playing in a band that I'm sure you'll be hearing about here in town, but called Shadow World at the moment is their name. It has evolved a few times, but he's just someone who is a close friend. We've written together and played guitar together and since we were kids, from Mississippi, who lives here in Houston now.
Is there anything special you want to tell us about this song, Prisoner?
Not really. The song is pretty self-explanatory, I think.
Okay, well, let's hear it. It's King's X on Exposure 101 KLOL. KLOL. That ended real quick there, guys. Did you guys intend that?
I think the ending was intended on that, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably so, if it ended up on the record that way.
It ended that way when it was originally written.
Or at least I think we were aware of it.
101 KLOL Exposure with David Sadoff, joined by the members of King's X this evening. And from Gretchen Goes to Nebraska, that was Don't Believe It, It's Easier Said Than Done.
All right.
Well, I guess that's easier said than explained, isn't it? We've been taking some calls off the air here, and one thing people have been asking is about the tour. Are you going to be starting your tour here in Houston?
Well, it looks as though there's going to be some kind of a free show here in Houston soon, right?
It's in the tentative plans, yes.
Yeah. There's nothing at this point that's definite that we can say, yes, we will be there. But there are plans.
Mm-hmm. So you're still working on that. If you were given the opportunity to headline a major concert tour of large venues, is there any special stage design or live set you'd like to use? Have y'all daydreamed about that at all?
Yeah, we'd like to use 1976 Kiss Alive 2 tour set for our stage.
But I have a question too. Are you reading these questions?
Well, it's I think that set's available. It's in dry storage still. You could probably get it for a good price.
From what I understand, at the end of the tour, they actually disassembled it and gave it to their fans.
We have a
Really?
$400 budget, so
Yeah, we didn't think we could afford the Kiss Alive 2 for $400, but you said if we could, just wishing. Jerry's always wanted some kind of drum set that hurls him up into the air and does flips and stuff.
I think that would be good. I can see Jerry kind of doing the spinning around thing, in the air like that. Put him out over the stage, maybe have him fall into the hurling masses or whatever.
Right, I practice with my kids. I throw them up in the air as high as I can.
And Doug wants a bungee cord from the top of the Coliseum so that he can just sort of jump and come within inches of the people and be yanked back up to the rafters. I'm just going to explode on stage in some way if we can figure out how to do it.
We want to have many near fatal accidents so we can be in the press.
Well, coming up, we're going to play my favorite from the brand new CD, King's X.
What's that, David?
Well, I'll tell them what it is on the other side. We got to pay a few bills here, Doug.
Okay.
Okay. And also, we're going to give away some copies of the new CD.
Right.
We'll start off with caller 21 at 390 KLOL Exposure with David Sadoff, being joined by the members of King's X, who are talking in the background there. Hi.
Howdy.
Hi.
Go, Dave.
Who was that?
That was me.
Okay. Are you going to do a rap album? Is that what that was?
I'm dabbling in rap.
It sounded like a yo-yo-yo-yo.
I just don't. I like rap actually, but I just don't know how to do it. I'm amazed at some of the rapping that I hear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We should be open to all genres of music.
Yes.
Yes. Anything you like in
Genre.
particular?
Genre.
Well,
I mean,
know.
iced tea or...
Lemonade will be fine.
Well, actually, I don't know the name of some of these
like
people.
Ice-T
I was
with
listening to some rap last night. A friend was playing, and I really liked it, but I don't know who it was.
Yeah. Boogie Down Productions is good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. We were going to play my favorite song from the brand new CD, which is called King's X. And you guys were wondering what it was, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Not Just for the Dead. Can you tell me something about this song?
No.
Okay, well. Would you like to tell me anything
We didn't
about
come
the
up here to
song?
talk, David.
Well, no, I thought that was the exact reason that you were here, was to talk. Because if I was just going to play the music, well, you could have just stayed home.
Truth of the matter is, not just to be dodging it either, but because there's really nothing to add to it. That song is pretty well self-explanatory too. It seems to be just kind of right to the point. So that's about it.
Mm-hmm. And you used the sitar in this one again too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like the sitar? You getting more comfortable with it?
I'm not comfortable with it at all, but I do like it. And,
Okay.
and I love to hear other people play it who can really play.
101 KLOL.
Everywhere I go, I see you.
101 KLOL exposure with David Sadoff, King's X, trying not to hang up on people on the telephone.
Sorry.
I apologize.
But we got him back, right?
We got him back, but somebody else called and I accidentally hung up on him, and whoever it was, they didn't get a chance to say anything.
Would you like to say something now?
Yeah, hi.
sorry.
Call back, please.
We just heard Everywhere I Go from the Faith, Hope, Love CD. And you want to tell us about that song? That was an older song, wasn't it?
Yeah, actually, that song was supposed to be on the Gretchen album, wasn't it, Ty?
Mm-hmm.
And it just didn't make it, and we rechanged the words.
Rechanged?
Yeah, we rewrote the
Are
words.
you
and,
making new words tonight?
Yeah.
Rechanged.
You're welcome.
So it became a new song for us for the Face Hope Love album. It's,
On the
it's
Face,
just
Hope, Love.
the Face Hope Love album.
Do you need
Anyway,
to go home soon, Doug? Are you
yeah,
fading
I've
fast?
had a long, hard day, okay? Anyway, woe is me. That song basically is about a person that you can't get out of your mind. How about that?
You've got a few songs like that. Goldilocks, Summerland. Are those along the same lines, you think?
Not really. Not
really?
in particular. Summerland is about a city, actually, an entire,
Really?
a whole culture, a place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, okay. I always thought that Summerland was almost like Goldilocks Part 2 in a way.
Oh.
It could be.
In a way,
It
it
could be.
depends on how you interpret
And
it.
you know, when Doug sang it, he sang it as unto a person, someone that he, thought of in his mind and sang it to. So,
Yeah.
although it was written like that, it can be taken like that also.
And I'll Never Get Tired of You is kind of a continuum of that if you follow that train of thought.
Yeah, it's that longing.
Well, the new CD is called simply King's X, and you look for it by the cover that has the bread and the wine and the little girl picking up breadcrumbs, as Doug told us earlier. And when can people buy this?
Tuesday.
March 10th.
Tuesday, March 10th,
Tuesday.
10 a.m.
That's the actual release date, but we also have been
We've been giving away copies
yeah.
on the radio, yes.
and we've been told also that although that is the official release date, it may take in some stores a couple of more days, but it should be available somewhere around town on Tuesday.
Going to do another track from the new CD. We'll also do one of the older tracks as well, which we'll choose here in just a few minutes. But going to do a track from the new album called Dream in My Life. Would you like to tell us something about that, or is it also pretty much self-explanatory?
It is pretty much self-explanatory. I guess the only thing else you could say about it is, to be more specific, is it was written to and about my wife. So that kind of, to give you a little bit more information than the song actually says.
I guess it is self-explanatory because I knew that from listening to it. I could just tell that that's who it was written for.
Well, good.
So I guess it was self-explanatory.
Okay. Well, then I take that back, and David, the song is pretty much self-explanatory.
In a roundabout kind of way.
I love this ending.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
I love doing that one live.
Do you?
Yeah, because people just
They don't know when it's going to end.
they're just baffled, and it's just funny to see them ready to cheer, and then we keep going.
Plus, we could mess it up and nobody would ever know.
Right.
Mhm. Or if you want to play with the crowd, you could just keep going on and on and on.
It's just a lot of fun to look at people's faces and do that.
Mhm. Have y'all thought about doing a live album yet?
We thought
We
about
thought
it.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thought
We've actually recorded some live performances, and they're actually we found out about a bootleg live album that's out in Germany.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you been able to get a copy?
We got one copy.
How is it?
Terrible.
It's not that bad, really.
Yeah.
It's not anything that we would release.
So you think you'll do anything in the future, or too early to say?
I have a desire to do like if like we did next year, did a live album. I'd like to do everything that we've ever done on record and just put it out like the Chicago thing. Just like 8 records out in a box set or something, and sell it for $10 or something.
I've always wanted us to do a live album too. I mean, there's just a lot of fun that happens live sometimes. That some spontaneous things that would be neat if it could be put out.
And one of my favorite songs of yours live is "The Burning Down," and sometimes it seems like you play it for maybe 20 minutes. You really get going with it, and if you do a live album, it could probably take up an entire side.
Yeah. It'll have to be like a 5-album set, I
That's
guess.
true. I forgot about that. We drag all our songs out.
Well, but it's enjoyable.
Yes.
And you
Thank you,
you know,
David.
you
Thank you,
jam.
David.
I really appreciate it.
Well, I want to thank you guys for stopping by tonight.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
David,
We
for inviting
appreciate
us.
it. Yeah.
It's nice to be here.
Nice to have you. And the album goes on sale Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Yes.
And,
March 10th.
Tuesday, March 10th. And it's time now for us to do the Exposure Top 5. First, I need to say that Exposure is brought to you by the Back Alley, where change is the only constant. Back Alley at 6400 Richmond. It's 21 and over. The Back Alley, you know where it's at.
Yes, we do.
Yes, you did. And have you heard the new U2 single? They've got B-sides on here. Have you seen this?
Oh, I like B-sides.
Yeah, well, we do the Exposure Top 5 here, and it's the top 5 best-selling albums, alternative albums, that is, here in Houston.
Can I have
and
that?
Well, then I can't play it. It's more
Well,
than
after you
one.
play it, then give it to me.
Oh, okay, it's yours.
And can I have this,
This big wall of equipment over here.
Yeah, sure, just take that with you.
Can I have your glasses?
Ty, do you want anything?
I'll take the reel-to-reel behind me.
Okay, cool. And you want a turntable? We don't use these turntables anymore. You can have this.
oh,
I
yeah,
think.
my son's been wanting a turntable so he can scratch
Can
on
I
it.
have that
Really?
Pearl Jam
Or can
T-shirt
he just
that
come
you
out
have
here
on?
and scratch?
Yeah, it's coming off right now, Doug. Exposure with David Sadoff, and the Exposure Top 5 at number 1, Nirvana with Nevermind the CD and that song In Bloom, and at number 2 is Pearl Jam with the track Jeremy from the 10 CD. Thanks again to the members of King's X for stopping by and joining me for an hour and playing music off the brand new CD, which will be in the stores on Tuesday, March 10th, which is Super Tuesday, and pick it up. So coming up, we will give away some tickets to see Big Audio Dynamite and Public Image, and also music from Concrete Blonde.